Good morning. Let's discuss another example of overlap save method. So this was pictorial representation of overlap save method, where what we are doing, we are dividing our sequence x of n into smaller number of sequences. Consider, as shown in figure, we have to divide x of n of length ls into three subsequences, x1 of n, x2 of n and x3 of n. So for creating first sequence x1 of n, what we have to do, add m minus 1 zeros at the start of sequence and take l elements from x of n. So we will get x1 of n of length l plus m minus 1. While writing x2 of n, what we have to do, take last m minus 1 elements from first sequence and copy it as it is in second sequence, and then take next new l elements from x of n. So we will get x2 of n of length l plus m minus 1. Same process we have to repeat till the elements in x of n gets finished. Now length of x1, x2, x3 will be capital N equal to l plus m minus 1. So as per our concept of circular convolution, length of both sequences should be equal. As h of n is of length capital M, to make it length equal to n, what we have to do, we have to add l minus 1 zeros in h of n. So after adding l minus 1 zeros, length of h of n will be equal to capital N equal to l plus m minus 1. Now in next step, what we have to do, we have to take circular convolution of x1 of n with h of n, x2 of n with h of n and x3 of n h of n. So here we are using matrix multiplication method for calculating circular convolution of these sequences. After calculating circular convolution, what we will get different output blocks. So as per this figure, the output blocks will be y1 of n, y2 of n and y3 of n. To get final output of overlap save method, what we have to do, discard first m minus 1 points from each output block. That is, to get final output, what we have to do, discard first m minus 1 element of y1 of n, discard first m minus 1 element of y2 of n and discard m minus 1 element of y3 of n, and whichever elements are remaining in each output block, just write them in sequence to get our output signal y of n. So final output signal y of n will be of length capital Ls plus m minus 1. So this is overlap save method. So in overlap add method, here also we have to divide a sequence, but in different way. So consider figure represent x of n sequence of length ls. First step, what we have to do, we have to divide x of n sequence into smaller subsequences, each of length capital L. Means x1 of n will have first L elements, x2 of n will have new L elements and x3 of n will have next new L elements. So each x1, x2 and x3 of n will be appended m minus 1 zeros at last. So length of each subsequence x1, x2, x3 will become equal to capital N equal to l plus m minus 1. So as per concept of circular convolution, length of both sequences should be equal. Therefore padding l minus 1 zeros to impulse response h of n, we will get h of n of length capital N equal to l plus m minus 1. What we have to do next, we have to take circular convolution of each x1, x2, x3 with h of n. So finally we will get outputs like y1 of n, y2 of n and y3 of n. In case of overlap save method, what we did, for getting final output, we have discarded first m minus 1 element of each output block. But in case of overlap method, what we have to do, overlap add method, add last m minus 1 element of first sequence with first m minus 1 element of second sequence. Similarly, add last m minus 1 element of second sequence with first m minus 1 element of third sequence. We have to repeat this process, and to get final output, we have to just copy the all elements. So final output y of n will be of length capital N equal to ls plus m minus 1. So these are two methods, overlap save method and overlap add method, where what we did, we are calculating linear convolution of two sequences, out of which one sequence is a long data sequence and another sequence is impulse response.